I see the grandbaby in the background. There she is. If that ain't motivation to get up and get something done, I don't know what is. You better go out and build this multi-million-dollar business, Stephanie. She depending on you, right? But here's the thing: when it comes to overcoming an objection, what's the first thing I want to be able to do? I want to acknowledge. All right, I want to acknowledge the objection. That's a great question. All right, I want to acknowledge that. So like Tom Hopkins, he used to do this thing called porcupine, where you answer a question with the question. So it's like, is this commission? Well, do you like commission? Like, that just irritates people sometimes. You know, like you keep doing that back and forth, they'd be like, all right, really? This is just very irritating. Can you please stop doing it? So what I like to do is I like to acknowledge the question. Like, that's a great question. But then I do want to ask a question before I answer it, because I'm going to answer it. Because people catch on to that. Like, if you don't answer a question, the back of their mind was like, they didn't answer my question. Like, I asked them a very direct question and they took it somewhere else. So first thing is I want to acknowledge the question, right? But then what I want to do is I want to ask a question. So let's say for instance, let's stay with the commission one. People ask me, is this commission? Okay, well that's a great question. I'm actually glad you asked that question. Before I answer it, let me ask you this. What do you know about commission? How do you feel about commission? Do you know how compensation works in our industry? All right, I might ask a question like that because now, again, it's a fear, it's a concern or whatever that they have. And then as once I acknowledge, yes, that's a great question, I'm going to answer it. But before I answer it, let me ask you a question. What I've done is I'm maintaining control of the conversation. Remember, the person that asks the most questions is the one in control of the conversation. So what you don't want to get yourself in is in a situation where you're being interrogated. Is this commission? What do you got? What type of products do you guys have? Do you guys just do life insurance? Is it investments as well? Yada, 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 yada. So they just got this long laundry list of questions that they're ready to fire off on you. And so now you're like, I don't know if you guys remember those old Western commercials, like dance, fool, and they just start shooting at the person's feet and the person, they're dancing around. Like sometimes you can feel like that in your business. You just dance around. Oh, well, it's not this. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's this. And you shouldn't be in that position, right? You maintain control of the conversation at all times. So I acknowledge it. I ask a question, and then I'll address their question. Then I'll address it. All right. So now what happens is they know I heard them. They know I heard them. All right. I never want to make people feel stupid about a question. I never want to get emotional about a question. All right. Because again, they have the right to ask a question. If I'm sitting down and having a conversation with them, 9 times out of 10, my primary objective is to impress, but also I would love the opportunity to do business or be in business together. So if I have an expectation on the back end, then why would I have any problems with them asking a question? Right? Or what we call an objection. Right? So acknowledge, ask, and then address. AAA. The new AAA. Acknowledge, ask, then address. And then I'll follow up. Does that make sense? So boom. So after I've addressed it, then I'm back. Then I maintain control of the question. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question? Right? So now I know we're on the same page. Because one thing that happens is if your confidence isn't in the right place, objections can completely throw you off. somebody saying no, somebody feeling like, oh, I found something on the internet, somebody, just whatever. It can completely throw you off. And then now you start questioning you. Is this really for me? Is this something, am I really doing the right thing? Is WFG really a great opportunity? I mean, it's like all of that stuff their issues have nothing to do with you. That's them. But again, our job is we want to make sure that you guys are equipped. So acknowledge, ask, and then address the question that they have. Now, there's a lot of different methods to handling objections, okay? I'm just sharing you guys from experience what's worked for me, all right? I acknowledge the question. I ask a question. I don't just acknowledge and then start answering. I acknowledge the question, I ask the question, and then I address their initial question as I get into it. So I want you guys to keep that formula in mind, and I want to open it up. What's an objection that you guys may have gotten, maybe repeatedly, or just kind of off the cuff? I don't know, but it's like you've had trouble addressing it. And I want to be able to address it for you. So then that way, again, you don't have to answer it the same way that I answer it. My objective right now is I want to get you to kind of look at their objection from a different perspective and have the confidence to be able to overcome it, however you may express it based off of what I say. You may love what I say, but it's like, oh, Mike, I don't talk like that. That's fine. Okay, how would you articulate it but maintain the same content, right? From the same spirit. So with that being said, who has an objection? Come on, give them to me. I know somebody hits you guys with something, and you're like, "Ooh, that one hurt. I don't know how to adjust that one."
Okay, I have one.
All right, Miss Parker, what we got? Give it to me.
So I had invited this is a doozy. Okay, so I had invited somebody to the BPM, the Zoom,
okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so I did all the formalities, hooking her up. So first of all, she was offended because her email. That's okay. I addressed that. So then she sends me this letter. I'm talking about a letter via email, and saying that she wasn't intrigued about anything.
Okay.
Because as soon as it said a presentation and it's a middle marketing kind of a thing, and she's turned off. But that still didn't bother me. She said, but in the next time you should research Better Business Bureau about WFG. So when people say that, you research it before you ask somebody to come. I felt a certain way, but then after that I said, okay, that's her. But the thing is, that will come up. People will say, okay, have you read about this and that on either YouTube or Business. And there was another website that she gave me to look at, which I'm not going to look at. So how would you overcome that?
How would I overcome that? Great one. And this actually ties into one that I have. So again, great question. All right, somebody gives me that, great question. I can respect where you come from because obviously in financial services, reputation and everything is very important. Let me ask you a question. Okay. Are you familiar with how our company is structured? All right. I would ask them, are you familiar with how our company is structured? Okay. So World Financial Group, and I wouldn't say this to them, but I'm giving it to you guys just so you can see how I'm looking at it. World Financial Group is an organization that allows people to have businesses of their own. Okay. So everybody is an individual sole proprietor. So the comment that may be made on the Better Business Bureau or Yelp or wherever, somebody can make a comment about our company. Let me ask you a question. Was my name tied to that?
Wow, that's good.
Right. Did they say Michael Paul, blah, 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 blah? Well, no. Okay, because everybody, you realize everybody's an individual sole proprietor. what does that mean? Okay, everybody gets to operate individually. If I know somebody that's big in church, I may use church as an example. So you're a person of faith, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes.
All right. So we can visit 5 different churches and get 5 different expressions of the word, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay. Now, each one of them is its own individual expression? Now, would you make a comment to Better Business Bureau because of church A, and you're like, oh my gosh, all churches are horrible because you didn't have a great experience there?
Yes.
No. All right. You wouldn't do that because you know that that's that church's expression.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, there are comments made about our company, and I never shy away from that. And again, this is just me kind of talking to you guys. I never shy away from some of the comments, but here's what I always want people to understand is they may have had a bad experience with somebody in our organization, but that was not me. That wasn't me. And my goal is to help people see the value that our organization is able to bring. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. That's really good.
Okay. So again, what I do, I acknowledge. It might get a little bit loud in the background. One of Michael's friends just got here. I acknowledge. I asked the question. Right. I asked the question. What was the question? Question was, do you know how our organization works?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how our organization operates? And then if you don't know, and then I give them a chance to ask that question, and then I address their question.
Great.
Okay. Great question. Great question. Who's next? What's up, Marcus? What's up, Big Marcus? I'm training my team, right? I'm training my business partners right now. We're getting ready to go on a trip, and one of Michael's friends is coming with us for his birthday, so they just got here. All right, who else we got? Who else got one? Who else got another one? Come on. I know y'all been hit with some stuff. Don't be shy. Claire, you moving around like you want to hit the button.
So this is not about to business, it's more about insurance. Objection. Why is it that price on TV that I can get life insurance for $9.95 a month?
Sorry, so say that one more time for me because you kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Why is the life insurance that particular price if I saw on TV that I can get life insurance for $9.95 a month with no medical questions and nothing?
Got it. Okay, good. Another great one. Acknowledge the question. That is a really good question. Right? So then I would ask them a question. Which company did you see on TV that was offering $9.95 a month? Whatever. All right. Have you ever shopped for life insurance before? So then again, I'll wait for an answer. I'll allow them to answer my question. So again, I've acknowledged it. That's a really good question. Have you ever shopped for life insurance before? Or what was the company? Is it loud? Can you guys hear me fine, or is it a little bit too loud? You guys are good?
We can hear both you guys.
We hear both of us. It's actually like 4 of us.
All you guys.
Okay. So actually let me go into the other room real quick because I don't want to tell them to be quiet. The kids over here having fun. What's going on, sir? How you doing? Oh, you guys want to see me say hi to everybody real quick? Look at the big girl right here. How you doing? What's going on, Big Marcus? How you doing, sir? All right, get back here. Hold on. All right, everybody. Here we go. Probably a little bit quiet. This would be a great recording, won't it? All right. So we got have you shot for life insurance before? All right. And then if they have shopped for life insurance before, right? Do you know the different types that are available? Right? Do you know what types of life insurance are available? And then most of the time they don't. And so the way I'll address it is, yeah, you can absolutely go out and get insurance for $9.95 with no medical, but understand that a lot of what they say, the devil is always in the details, or always read the fine print, right? So a lot of times with those policies that you can buy off of TV for $9.95 a month or $15 a month with no medical, many times they don't provide the value that people are expecting. I'm not saying that they're bad, not saying that they're great. They just don't provide the value that a lot of times people are expecting. So what I do is we do full underwriting, because when you do full underwriting, there's opportunities where you can get a lower rating, right? Because obviously there's a risk on the side of the insurance company. And again, I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. I'm going to add more words to it. I typically wouldn't say it like this to a client. I want you guys to be able to understand, okay, what are the different ways that I'll be able to address this, or how specifically does it work? So again, they may offer it for, we do underwriting, because when you do full underwriting, the insurance company knows exactly what's going on in your life. So now the more information they have, do you think they'll give you a higher rate or a lower rate? They'll give you a lower rate, right? So the rates potentially could be lower, right? Or we can do policies that will guarantee you coverage for the rest of your life without medical underwriting, but we're going to guarantee it for the rest of your life. Where these other policies, they may have provisions that will increase your premium after 5 years or after 10 years. So there are other types of policies out there that will allow you to start lower up front, but it doesn't guarantee it's going to stay that way through the entire life of the policy. So again, we offer a number of different contracts, a number of different policies. And this is, and so we're able to meet people specifically where they're at. Did that answer the question, Claire? Claire, you still there? Did I lose you?
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, because again, like you said, you'll get that Colonial Life or Colonial Penn or AAA, and they send those flyers out. And one of the things I always challenge people to do is read them, right? Read through the how they work, right? And read through the details. Will it last you until age 100? Paying the exact same premium. And a lot of times people will go back and like, no, it doesn't. I didn't realize it would increase after X age or whatever. And so then now it's like, well, see, again, I'm not beating up the policy. Remember, I never want to be the adversary. I never want to be like, oh, that one is horrible, or that one, see, I told you it wasn't no good. Because it's not a matter of a policy being good or being bad. It's, does it fit? And a lot of these policies are created for niche markets, and they do fit somebody, but it just may not fit that individual at the moment. And our goal is to find things that fit the people that we're serving. We're not doing a shotgun. It's just like, hey, see how many people can fit into this one policy. Like, no, we can find something specifically for you. Okay. Great question. Great question. What's next? Who has something next? Michelle, you got anything? Diana, you got anything? Cassandra, any objections that you guys have gotten that you struggle to overcome? Maybe it was an objection that seemed really legit and had you questioning whether or not I'm in the right place.
How about I can't afford it?
How about you can't afford it? Okay.
I can't afford this.
All right. So So no, and again, that's something I respect. All right. Now here's the thing from what can really overcome that objection from the front end is us on the front end doing our due diligence. Right. So we take our time and we collect correct information. So again, how much money are you making? What's your monthly? What are your monthly expenses? So you're able to see what's going on in their lifestyle, in their household, right? And then if you able to get accurate information, you see what their income is, what their discretionary income is, and then you make a recommendation that fits, right? So if you guys have sat with me on a close before, you've seen. I'll go through the F&A first, and it'll go through that cash flow question or that cash flow breakdown. And it says, okay, your discretionary income is, $100 a month or $200 a month or $300 a month. Okay, great. So then now when I put together a recommendation, I want to address that from the front. I want to address that right out of the gate. I want to put something I know fits in their plan. So then that way, when they come back and say, well, Mike, I can't afford it. Well, I mean, didn't you tell me? I said, that's a great concern. I can appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. Were the numbers that you gave me accurate? Well, yeah. So you're bringing in $3,000 a month. Your expenses are $2,700. So you have a discretionary income of $300 a month. Was that correct? Well, yeah, that was correct. Okay. So the plan that I put together, and again, I'm always giving alternative of choice, right? We have an IUL, we have a term, maybe we have a whole life versus universal life. I'll give an alternative choice. Both of them fit into their plan. One might push the envelope a little bit more than the other, right? But you said these things, protecting your family, boom, boom, boom. All of that stuff was important to you, correct? Yeah. Okay. So why is it that we feel that we won't be able to afford this if everything that you gave me was true? You just wait for an answer. You follow me? So, but the most important thing is, and this is why, if somebody says, hey, I want life insurance, right? I want life insurance, and hold on one second. I saw the text I think you just sent me, Stephanie. Is that Stephanie just sent that to me? I sent her okay, well, we gotta, Stephanie, you and I could talk because I sent her the Betterment thing. But I'll have Yvonne. Babe, Yvonne. No, she can't hear me. Okay. We'll get that addressed. But forgot what I was saying. Oh, I know what I was talking about. Okay. So when you're putting together the plan, and the reason why we're not just taking reason when we're not just doing quotes is because I can give out a bunch of quotes and they can match a quote up with a quote somebody else gave. They can match it up with something they got off of TV. And our goal is, and if somebody just wants me to give a quote, let me back up. If somebody just wants me to give a quote, I'll just give them a quote. But I'll ask before that. I'll say, hey, what I typically like to do is I want to be able to meet you where you're at, because I have a belief that you meet people at their perceived need, they'll give you permission to do more. All right. So I always want to meet people at their perceived need. At the same time, I'll always ask for permission. Would you mind if I put together a plan for you? Because in my experience, what I found is people have a lot of stuff. They have insurance policies, they have 401ks, they have this, they have that, but they don't have a plan. And so, yeah, I would love to be able to give you a quote, but I would love to give you a quote that I know can fit in your plan. Would you allow me to do that? And then they'll say, okay, sure. Well, what do I have to do? And then, well, let me ask you a couple of questions, and then boom, I start collecting information. All right. Or I walk through, like, here's what we do collectively as an organization, all the different areas that we can fit. I know your specific need was life insurance. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to collect some information so I can put together a plan, and the recommendation that I give you, or the quote that I give you, I know fits in your plan. So then now what you're doing is you're overcoming that specific objection before it ever comes up. Did I answer your question, Pedro?
Yes, yes, you did. Thank you.
All right, great. What we have next? You guys are doing good. See, you guys are keeping all this stuff in, and you're not telling me. See, now I'm getting mad at you guys, right? You're not telling me. You guys internalizing all of this stuff. Like, man, I can't believe. How do I say this? Yes, that's what we're here for. How many times I tell you guys, ask me questions? And I know what you guys think. Mike's too busy. He got a lot of stuff going on. You're right, I do, but I always make time for you guys. All right. What other questions we got? What other objections have we got? So here's one I'll give you guys, and this is more on the opportunity based. Is this a pyramid scheme? All right, because they'll go online. And first thing, Transamerica pyramid scheme, WFG pyramid scheme. It's a ripoff report or whatever. All of that stuff that's on it. All right. So again, I acknowledge the question. Is this a pyramid scheme? That's a really great question. It's a really great question. But before I answer it, can I ask you a question? Do you know what a pyramid scheme is? And I'll wait for an answer. Because here's the reality. Most people have no idea what a pyramid scheme is. They've just heard the term thrown out there and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a pyramid scheme. So first of all, let's all be on the same playing field here. Okay. I don't want you over on a basketball court and I'm on a football field. I don't want you on a soccer field, I'm on a baseball field. I want us all to be on the same playing field right now. Do you know what a pyramid scheme is? Well, a pyramid scheme is something where only the person at the top makes all the money. No, that's not a pyramid scheme, because if that's the case, all jobs are pyramid schemes. Because isn't there a CEO to your organization? How much money is he making in comparison to you? All right. So everybody has, it's funny in saying that, it made me think about, I found out, I forgot who the person over the school district is, over LAUSD. Like, their income is ridiculous. Like, what they make on an annual basis, like really? Like, why are they making that much money? And teachers gotta buy materials for their classroom. Like that, really? Right? What's the guy over the police department? Like, their income, like, come on, man, really? Like, these are for real pyramid schemes. Because they just getting over on a lot of people. But that's neither here nor there. A pyramid scheme is when people are paying money to be a part of a group, or they're having to contribute money to be a part of a group, and there's no viable product that's actually being distributed. That's a pyramid scheme. So you're putting your money in, right? Boom, put money in. All right, I'm putting in all my money. That $350,000, right? But you're putting your money in, and there's no product that's actually coming back to you. Right? There's no product that's being distributed to anybody. That's a pyramid scheme. So now somebody's just taking your money with the promise of something, and you're not getting anything from it. Well, let's look at what we do. Do we collect any money? Do we take anybody's money? No. We don't actually take our money. You do invest $100. What do you get in return for your $100? You get access to our training platform. You get access to our websites, right? You get access to all of these different, basically a business in a box, right? You get access to that day one of being in business with us. And then you're also given the opportunity to start building an organization for yourself. So there is an actual product that's being distributed in our financial plan, right? But again, we're not taking anybody's money, right? So the product that our product that we actually give, which is our financial needs analysis, that's the only product WFG actually has. We give that away for free. People don't have to, you're not charging anybody to sit down and have a conversation. You're not charging anybody. Nobody has ever said, you've never had to say, okay, well, in order to have a conversation with me, you got to pay $500. We don't say that. You want to start saving money? Great. Let's sit down and have a conversation. And we put together a plan for it. All right. So again, you want to be able to always get balanced with people. Never just let them throw some at you and you start fielding it. What do you mean? What did you read? What did you talk about? All right. Here's another one that you get. Well, I saw on the internet that people have to invest money to be able to work with you guys. Is that true? That's a great question. It's a great question. Let me ask, and before I address it, let me ask you a question. Have you ever started a business before? Well, no. Okay. Well, do you know anybody who owns a business? Yeah. All right. Now, in starting their business, did they have to invest money to start their business? Yeah. Well, what are the different ways that they had to invest? Well, they had to get materials. They had to get the location. They had to get, okay, so this is all money they had to put out front before they were able to start generating income. Yeah. Okay. So in regards to what you saw on the internet and people having to invest $100 to be a part of our organization, that is true. That is correct, because we're not a job. This isn't a job opportunity. And there's no employees. There's no employer. This is a business opportunity. And so just like we already addressed, somebody who started a business and they had to invest money up front. It's the same thing with our company. You have to invest $100 to get onto our platform. You have to invest money to get your license through the state. All right. So this is money that you have to invest up front before you can start making money with our organization. Okay. Here's another one that came to mind as that. How come you guys don't pay for it? If you guys really wanted me, you guys may or may not have gotten this one. If you guys really wanted me, you pay for me. Really? Really? Like, here's some of the worst advice I ever had, right? So I came back from Hawaii, and I'm doing acting and modeling while I'm trying to make it in basketball. And one person told me, said, Mike, if an agency really wants you, they'll pay for your headshots. They'll pay for your photo shoot. They'll pay for all of that stuff. And so that stuff got ingrained in my head. So I went and I had all of these different agencies that wanted me. I could probably count at least 5 or 6. Like every time I went on an interview, the agency was like, yeah, we'll work with you. Go get some headshots and stuff done. And as soon as they told me that would ring in my head. Like, oh, I was told if they really wanted me, then they would pay for my headshots. They would pay for my photo shoots. They would pay for all of that. So the minute an agency said, yes, Mike, we'd be willing to work for you. Just, we want you to go sit with this person, get some shots and everything done. That was an immediate turn off for me, thinking like, oh no, they don't really want me. They're just blowing smoke. Yeah, that was dumb. Because like who's going to want to invest in you if you don't want to invest in you? If you don't invest in you first, why would anybody else invest with you? Okay. And then the flip side is, if an organization does pay for your licensing, guess what they're going to want? They're going to want a commitment on the back end. You're going to have to give them 2 years, maybe 3 years. I remember just before I left Hawaii, the special needs program out there was struggling really bad. And so they were flying teachers from California, what they call the mainland, over to Hawaii, putting them through, like they were trying to build, like I say, specific for special needs. Like they needed OTs, they needed speech therapists. And so they were giving people scholarships to Hawaii University of Hawaii. But in paying for that, you had to give, I believe it was 3 or 4 years commitment to the district out there. So we're going to pay for you, but you got to give us something in return. So people forget that this is America. Ain't nothing for free. All right. There's nothing out there for free. So if a company is willing to pay for your license, guess what? You're going to be captive to that company. So what do? We don't pay for your license. But we do provide a reimbursement. So you qualify for the reimbursement. We'll compensate you for it, right? We'll compensate you for the reimbursement, and then we will and then you have the right to, if it works out here, great, you stay. If you say, you know what, I want to go somewhere else, then you go somewhere else and you take your license with you. Because why? Because it's your license. So that's how that's my thought process in overcoming the thing with the license. Like, we invest in people that invest in themselves. So yeah, we will reimburse you for your license if you show out of the gate that you really want to go out here and make it happen. We have a platform for you to reimburse you. 6:43. We got time for one more objection. Anything else in somebody's heart? Come on, y'all, give it to me. Don't be scared. Give me another objection. Or did I handle them all already? Pedro, you got another one? You just popped up out of nowhere. I just saw you. No, you have another one? Stephanie, you got one? And Stephanie can overcome all of them. No, nobody else has an objection? I just heard. I can hear somebody mute themselves.
We can hear you now, Stephanie. I saw you.
Oh, you know, yeah, my mouth has been moving all kind of ways, and I mean, I don't have no questions now. It's all done. I'm done.
What would you ask, Steph?
No. I was just the one I get the most often is about the pyramid scheme, and that's the one I have to overcome using. You know, because there's no something for nothing in anything. Right. And matter of fact, I got invited to a pyramid scheme. It's like, what the hell? Yeah. You know, and they know me. So I was offended, number one. I said, but it's people that you and I both know. And that's the part that was kind of, I said, people who will fall for anything, they usually fall for something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so, I mean, I know Yvonne, and I tried to stay off of some of the objections. I know you guys have been practicing with Yvonne. But here's the main thing when it comes to the objections. One is today I wanted to again give a different perspective. I wanted to share my thought process because again I've gotten all of these and some, and I wanted to hopefully maybe build your confidence that there are answers to every question that people have out there. Every single one, there's an answer to it. But here's the most important answer to it is you. Because I'm just to go back to the stuff that the most common one, like Stephanie said, is it a pyramid scheme? Just because people say, I did my research. Research isn't going to the Google search engine and typing in WFG. That's not research, right?
Nor is the Better Business Bureau. I'd like to just say one thing. The Better Business Bureau, Claire and Pedro can get a AAA rating on the Better Business Bureau by paying $700, period. That's all you got to do. You pay for that. It is not a credible government agency, not in the least. People trust it because it looks like it is, but it is not a government agency or a state regulated agency. You can buy your way in. Don't you forget it.
Absolutely. So you want to give people proper direction. And this is one of the things that after this week I put in the Dropbox is there's brochures and things you can email to your clients. We're going to be sending things out for everybody who becomes a client of ours, everybody who attends a BPM. We're going to have brochures and things that we're going to send out to them. I want you guys to get familiar with them. I want you guys to read up on them. All right. If somebody wants to do research on Transamerica Financial Advisors, tell them go to FINRA.org. All right. FINRA is a regulatory agency that regulates every single broker dealer in the country. Right. And they can type me up on there. and they know all my information because I have to report it. All of it is public information, right? That's one of the things. When you sign to be securities license, you sign up for full and complete transparency. So, but my main goal today was to reinforce the support beams in your business right now. All right, I wanted to take some time because I know some of you guys are, again, taking some lumps, and people are saying things. Some of you guys are saying stuff. Some of you guys aren't. But there's questions to all the answers, and then all the answers. They can look up life agents on the Department of Insurance website. That's insurance.ca.gov. They can look up life insurance agents on there. The main thing is your confidence and your ability to communicate what you do, right? Because again, you are that ultimate answer. But all of the stuff that people say online, it's like, yeah, okay, it's probably true. Because there are people who aren't taught how to be professionals in our business. You are a professional. You got a license. You have a designation. You're a professional within our company. So it's good that you learn to be one. And some people take it for granted, right? We know, some of us who've been in business for a little while know somebody personally who is in jail right now because they took advantage of the authority that was given to them. So yeah, are there some bad things out there about the company or organization? Yeah, because guess what? There's a few bad apples in every bunch, but you're not one of them. So if they're open to learning more about the company, you're willing to be able to share it with them. And so let's go out there and let's change people's lives. Let's empower families. And those that are willing to listen, let's share. And those that aren't willing to listen, here's what we do. You just let them know that when you're ready, still gonna be here. Still gonna be here ready to help, right? Your feelings and your concerns doesn't change my journey at all. I just hope I get the opportunity to be of service to you because I know nobody's gonna take care of you better than I can. All right, everybody. So the agent training is getting ready to start pretty soon. If you register for that, I want to give you time to be able to go jump on that. This Saturday, we got a special guest speaker, and we have somebody that will be hosting this weekend. Yvonne and I are going to be taking off tomorrow morning. We're going to Arizona to play in the water. Yes, we will be social distancing. Matter of fact, we probably ain't going to see nobody because we're going to go from the house to the lake, back to the house. So we're gonna do all of that. We're gonna have a good time, but we will still be accessible if you guys have questions and things to be able to help get some stuff through. We may not be as accessible as we are right now, but you guys can definitely feel free to shoot us a text, give us a call. But we also got great people like Stephanie Thornton and Yvonne Parker and Lily who have stepped up and ready to be able to help out and provide value. So appreciate everybody. Let's keep building it big. Keep inviting. Right. And if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Have a great one.
You guys have a safe trip if you're still on.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you. You too, Pedro and Claire. Bye-bye.
Bye.